As the Chinese New Year draws near, the red lanterns are going up, but the optimism that once filled China's biggest cities is nowhere to be found. The economy continues its downward slide, job opportunities are shrinking, and by 2026, even Beijing, a city of nearly 23 million people, feels strangely hollow. Commercial streets that used to pulse with traffic and neon now echo with footsteps. Storefront lights are dim. Restaurants that once required reservations now sit half empty. The capital still looks grand on the surface, but underneath something has shifted. Many residents say the pressure of living has become unbearable. Prices have not softened, but incomes have. Some people quietly admit they no longer have the security of a guaranteed meal. In the past, trash bins behind restaurants were filled with leftover food. Those struggling could eat from what others discarded and even save a little cash. It was humiliating perhaps, but it worked. And now even that fragile safety net is disappearing. People have become frugal. They order less, waste less, and dine out far less often. Fewer customers mean fewer restaurants operating at full scale. Fewer restaurants mean fewer trash bins. And inside those bins, almost nothing remains. One recycler in Beijing asked bluntly, "Is it really shameful to pick up scrap in Beijing?" Over half a month, he collected bottles, cans, cardboard, bits of metal. He stacked them carefully against his window until the pile nearly blocked the light. Finally, he pushed a cart through the winter streets to sell everything at once, curious how much his effort would bring. It was not about pride anymore. It was about survival. Some friends worry that letting children witness this kind of hardship might leave scars, planting seeds of inferiority that last a lifetime. But Bo Chu sees it differently. He believes children should understand early that life is not easy and survival is not automatic. A poor child takes charge early, he says. Parents cannot walk beside their children forever. Better they learn now how to endure, how to adapt, how to keep going when circumstances turn harsh. That day, Bo Chu sorted iron and wooden boards together, 42 gin in total. He counted 120 Coca-Cola cans at 0.1 yuan each. He weighed full loads and empty loads, recalculating again and again to make sure he was not cheated. After all the effort, a cart stacked to the brim sold for just 37 yuan. Another time, after 12 days of collecting trash across Beijing, he earned 32.5 yuan from a single sale. He once said you could not get rich picking up scrap in the capital. He did not expect it to be this hard. Still, he smiled and joked, "I'm rich." Humor is cheaper than despair. In a big city, he says, you must compete relentlessly. He once considered taking a treasure hunt job, but it required 4 days of unpaid training. 4 days without income was a luxury he could not afford. While searching through discarded items, he found a worn blanket with a hole. To others, it was trash. To him, it was warmth. His mother rides a small electric scooter, and in freezing weather, that blanket could shield her from the wind, saving dozens of yuan. These small victories matter. He even admitted at one point he could not afford to go to the hospital. Whenever yuan is calculated, illness becomes a financial risk. Another blogger shared her own reality in early 2026. She and her husband stood on the edge of unemployment after sudden news of layoffs at his company. There was no warning, no gradual transition, just the possibility of income disappearing overnight. Yet life does not pause for anxiety. Bills still come. Meals must still be cooked. They move forward step by step, even when the path ahead felt uncertain. Her clothing shop had not opened for 3 consecutive days. Friday, Saturday, and by Sunday evening at 6 p.m., still no customers. In an industry already battered by weak consumption, 3 silent days felt like an omen. She said she had never experienced such emptiness in all her years in business. Beijing's streets may be crowded, but consumer confidence has thinned to a thread. Every month begins the same way. Rent first, then water and electricity, then phone bills. If her landlady had not reminded her, she might have forgotten to pay rent again. For 1 day's delay, 100 yuan was deducted from her deposit. Around her, neighbors, shop owners, and employees alike had already returned home early for the new year. Many said they might not come back. Business was too difficult. Hope was too fragile. She calculated her expenses carefully. 2,200 yuan for rent, 500 for daily necessities, 200 for utilities, 200 for phone bills, around 1,500 for food, roughly 4,600 yuan each month just to maintain the basics. That number does not include emergencies, gifts, travel, or dreams. Living in Beijing means learning to restrain desire. You think twice before buying. You hesitate before spending. The city never slows down, but if you slow down, it will leave you behind. Yet she remains, because some ambitions can only be chased in a place like this. Another couple in Beijing for over a decade explained why they stay. Together they earn more than 20,000 yuan per month. They do not own property. They do not have a Beijing household registration. They rent. After covering expenses, they can still save around 9,000 yuan monthly. If they return to their hometown, they might save nothing. Yes, Beijing is exhausting, but it is also anonymous and inclusive. No one watches your every move. No one critiques your lifestyle. In their hometown, stable public sector jobs might pay only 3,000 or 4,000 yuan a month. Just returning home would mean lower income, but more time with parents. Wherever you choose, something is gained and something is lost. In a narrow urban village room measuring barely 3 square meters, another woman pays 800 yuan per month. "Everything you see here is my home," she says, gesturing at a bed, a cabinet overhead, a small shelf near the door for hanging clothes. A single painting brightens one wall. Green paper covers another. A calendar salvaged from a bathroom hangs beside her pillow. Space is limited, but dignity remains intact. A family of 4 from rural Henan province shares a similar balancing act. The husband earns 15,000 yuan a month. Rent alone consumes 4,300 yuan. Add milk powder, diapers, groceries, utilities, and the margin narrows quickly. Living paycheck to paycheck is routine. One weekend, seeing their children's longing faces, they bought tickets to an indoor amusement park. Paying felt painful. But when the children's eyes sparkled like stars, when laughter filled the air, the weight of daily stress lightened. Later, they ordered food delivery and watched their children eat happily. In those small moments, hardship felt justified. They are not wealthy, and pressure never disappears, but family warmth makes the struggle meaningful. Another young couple works in internet-related jobs, each earning over 10,000 yuan per month. To save just 10 yuan a day, she rides a small electric scooter to work regardless of wind or rain. Her husband works overtime to reduce housing costs. They live in Chengdong village on the outskirts of Wuhan, far from their child who remains in their hometown. Every Friday they travel more than 700 kilometers just to hold him, to see how he has grown in a week, to hear him call out Dad and Mom. They admit they lack prestigious degrees and influential connections. They cannot command high salaries, so they compensate with effort. As long as they are young and healthy, earning something is better than earning nothing. That belief carries them through exhaustion. Pan Li and her husband work in a supermarket in Beijing's Chaoyang district. She earns around 6,000 yuan as a voice promoter. He earns between 6,000 and 7,000 yuan in the beverage section. Together, gather about 13,000 yuan monthly. Recently, they faced the burden of a mortgage down payment. After paying it, they reduced daily living expenses to just 2,000 yuan a month. She eats alone at work to avoid unnecessary spending. Social activities are minimized. They even argued about whether to leave Beijing. Without higher education or specialized skills, what jobs could they find back home? Yet giving up feels like surrender, so they persist, at least for now. A young woman from Gansu earns 8,500 yuan a month at a flower shop near Beijing's 6th Ring Road. She pays 1,400 yuan in rent, cooks daily to save money, and lives modestly. Not starving, but far from comfortable. Though she sometimes thinks about lying flat, in Beijing, survival means constant effort. So she keeps working hard and trusting that persistence will pay off. Another couple, both university graduates, now earn nearly 20,000 yuan a month combined, with the wife bringing in 6,000 steadily. They limit spending to around 3,000 yuan to build savings, believing true competitiveness comes from continuous self-improvement, not just degrees. In 2023, after facing discrimination during COVID, they bought a 140 square meter apartment in Chongping. paying over 50,000 yuan up front and taking on a heavy mortgage. When one spouse later lost his job, the burden fell on the other. They sometimes wonder if renting would have left them more secure, but they chose stability and keep moving forward. Across Beijing, ordinary people are recalculating everything: food, rent, dreams, dignity. The economy may be slowing, but their determination to endure has not. And as the new year approaches, amid quiet streets and cautious spending, one truth becomes clear. Prosperity may fluctuate, policies may shift, industries may rise and fall, but resilience, forged in hardship, is what keeps millions moving forward, one careful step at a time.